Did you watch Sean Ryan, the pedophile one?
Yeah.
Talking about all the fucking vacuum he had and shit.
Yeah, and then I watched I think I sent you his EDC video.
I
He had
did,
that
yeah.
flipper that I was telling you about. That's a cool guy. He's got a lot of cool ideas. When people call me smart, that's who I compare myself to, is guys like that. Like, I'm like, you don't know smart. Like, there
can
are
only
Rain
have
Man smart.
You have smart and functional. They can't
Well,
they can't.
I'm at the sweet spot of,
Yeah.
that's the thing, is once you get to a certain point, everyone in the world annoys you and you can't stand
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
Like, you can't go to a Chick-fil-A.
You could get smarter. You couldn't live in this world though.
Yeah. What do you mean?
It's
What world?
it's smart and the normal world where people are.
This, like, here.
No,
Yeah.
like you get smarter.
No,
functionality
you're exactly right.
has
That's
to
what
go
I
down.
mean. Yeah, but that's the kind of guys I work with in software. I'm like, they're smart. I'm the dumb guy. Like, I'm the guy that interfaces between the sales and business to the tech. So, like, I can talk both languages. They all look down on me, though, because you know what I mean? Not really, but, like, I'm not one of either of them. I'm not the sales guy. I'm not the developer. I'm the go-between, typically. So
you're way smarter than I am.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, I know guys that are 30 IQ points, 40 IQ points over me, and I'm like, I feel like an idiot 24 hours a day. And I might go out in the real world and I'm a smart guy, but not in this little circle
In the
I've spent
1% of 1%.
But it's super encouraging to break out of that and come into the real world where it's freaking easy to succeed. Like, why did I waste so much time there?
What's your next market?
I don't even know.
I think you go and market to overland dudes.
Oh, yeah, that could work.
I say this.
Jody had the idea to start pushing EDC style content.
Hell yes.
Because that's a huge, people blow money on knives and doodads.
Not only that, it crosses, right?
Yeah.
How did we sell the same gear to not gun guys, right? So here let me tell you, Jaeger's like, come to Camden. I'm like, don't think I won't come to Camden. He's like, you won't come to Camden. So of course I did, right? Double dog dare you.
Right.
And all of our customers overlapped, especially because when I moved here, James is like, all right, I want to sell all the SOE gear. I want it to all go through TAC Response. I'm like, all right, I'll do that. Because I'd just come home. I had a small clientele base, right? And more business than I could handle. So we did that. We funneled everything through Tactical Response. And for 2 years, 3 years maybe, we still had that old antiquated system where we had a website that you could see stuff, but you couldn't really, you'd order it, it would send an email to me.
Okay.
And then I'd be like, okay.
There's no checkout, no cart.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah,
no cart.
okay.
So I would put it in, I'd just put some text. I'd copy paste the text and change the items and give you the dollar amounts.
Dang.
And then here's the PayPal. So you got to go to PayPal, log in and put in my address and shit, right?
People would not even be able to do it now.
Maybe if you were smart enough, you'd copy paste it, right?
Right.
But we had more business. I mean,
People were smarter than, though.
Dude, I was doing $1 million a year doing that bullshit.
Yeah.
So we started pushing everything. It was still on. So I was getting 100 orders a day like that.
Okay.
But I would reply back with, hey, we're not selling to the individual customer. Thank you for the interest. Check with Tactical Response, our stocking dealer. They stock over $1 million in inventory on any given day. And just order from there and let me know if you need anything. So we did that for a few years. What was happening was all of our customers were the same customer. And then when some time went by and we started doing our own orders again, we were seeing the same guy. So the way I look at it is I'm vying for my customer's $500. He's got $1,000 a year to spend maybe, right? James needs it for class. That's $500. And then the guy needs it for ammo. That's $500.
Yep.
And I want the $500, right? So it's not there.
And there's only so many products.
Right. So what do, right? I have to bring in new blood. We got to get new guys. Where's that coming from?
Yep.
We used to be written up in magazines and shit. The magazines have died. We used to be all over the internet. The forums have died.
You
so
find a radio guy to collaborate with to get on Wrangler Star.
Yeah, exactly, right? So how do we sell the same product to different people? Well, the tool bags work well because all the overland guys, right? They have expendable money. You've got guys with $100,000 rigs.
Yep.
Even if the guy that doesn't have the guy with the old Toyota, he's still going to be at the expo, right? So we're like, okay, let's go to the expo. So we go to the expo. Have you ever been to an Overland Expo?
No.
Okay, so somebody had the bright idea. We're going to do this at the Biltmore, right? You know where the Biltmore is.
I've been there. It doesn't seem very overlandy.
No. And imagine it raining and you having 200, 300, 500 off-road trucks on the Biltmore property.
Tearing it up.
Yeah, so they're like, okay, we're not doing that shit no more. So the next year, they move it someplace else.
What idea was that?
Oh, dude,
Some chick.
I have a whole podcast just about that. So we go to we get our guys together. We build some gear, the normal gear we make, and all guys that have Jeeps also have guns. So we take some micro rigs, we take some tool bags, we take some zippered knife pouches. A lot of EDC guys there. Yeah. Last line of defense, Mike. He's a big EDC guy. Yep. His buddy with the van, Talon Sai. Real big EDC guys, right? So we go out there and we put our product out. Well, every dude with a Jeep or a Toyota Tacoma or 4Runner or whatever, all those guys are gun guys. So now we've brought in new customers. We're having we're cross-pollinating, right? And every one of those dudes has the potential to need a class, right? All these guys with guns, most don't train. We can put a sling, do a micro rig, get you in a class. We did some promotions. We did content and stuff. So it infused a lot of dudes in. Yeah. And that's why you should do it, right? So it's like a...
That's what I would have never guessed. I've sold out at homesteader conventions.
Because who's homesteading right now, right? I say there's two kinds of homesteaders. We have the Little House on the Prairie homesteader. Right. Who wants to leave society and kind of build their own Atlas Shrugged with just 4 people or whatever. So they spend all their money because they never leave. They don't make any money. So all the money they have is just a homestead. Then you have people like friends we have that have, successful businesses and so much money that they can homestead in a manner of whatever they want. Right. We need both of them, right? We want both of them. Yep. But like with the Overland thing, you go to this expo and you got Earth Roamers there, right? Earth Roamer builds a
$500,000.
Dude, I was in $1 million mobile home. It had a marble bathtub in it, and the lady that owned it was making us cinnamon rolls while we were standing there. Just awesome stuff. There's every aspect there. They're tent camping, they're vehicle camping, the Expedition Overland Clay and those guys are there. Yeah. Super, super cool dudes. And there's guys like people are there to spend money. Like there was rock stars, like real skinny jean, white, snakeskin boots and shit. Well, it rained. So while we're walking through this field, they had cut all the trees off and just planted all these saplings out there. And it rained, and I swear, I'm not even exaggerating, bro. When you'd step in, we went and bought muck boots for all of our guys, and the mud came up over the muck boot to your kneecap. It was insane. But everybody out there wants to buy something, and ARB doesn't have a bumper, and CBI doesn't, you can order this. So if you have something they can buy and take away, and this is why people were talking about, like we used to do T-shirts at the gun shows, right? So we would go to the gun show in Del Mar or, Arizona, any of them, and all 6 months, a dude has saved his money, hidden money in the cigar box or whatever from the wife, right? He comes in, buys the gun, buys the LBV, whatever. He's going to spend that last $10. What do I have for $10 he can buy? And that was a T-shirt. We sold all of our shirts all the time because they were $10. Most of the dudes that bought our shirts also bought $250 rigs, but they walk around this confined area. Right. And they walk around and you see them over and over.
That's what I was going to ask you. I noticed like 4 shows. The first 25% of whatever the show is, if it's 4 days, the first day I get nothing
because they only have so much. They have a finite amount of money.
Or if it's a 1-day show, the first couple hours I get nothing. I get 100 flybys. Yep. And then the floodgates open because it's like I think they're just evaluating. Okay, there's nothing to buy. Go to the radio guy. You had something cool.
It could be that. It could also. It could be that.
It's bizarre though because I think it's a flop for the first couple hours. I'm like, this was a mistake. Jody would quote me. I'm like, dude, we shouldn't have done this.
Just don't be a dick the first few hours, right?
Oh, I never.
Because I know. Yeah. But when you go, especially like a homestead show, right? That's a neat $10,000 solar setup. I don't have $10,000 and I can't take it home today. Right. Okay, that's neat. How much doTERRA fucking essential oils do I need? I mean, it's all lavender oil in every bottle anyway.
Freeze-dried Skittles
right. So we've done the thing.
I'm the only unique thing that no one has seen there too. Like everything else is predictable and
and they can hold it in their hand, right? Yeah. And they can convince they might be able to sell the wife on it, right?
I sold a lot to women.
Good. Because women are practical.
Right.
Bob has 17 AR-15s. We don't have a way to talk to each other. Yep. Yeah.
I have the ladies bringing their husband and saying, "All right, tell him," and he's like underwhelmed. He's like, "Okay, well, we need them, don't we?" I'm like, "Man,
You should have a
fascinating."
sample. I mean, maybe you can't do this because of the FCC stuff, but I was going to say you need a sample where you can be like, go outside, talk to your wife
Oh, I could do it license free with the right frequencies
on Simplex.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
I think we should do something while everybody is standing here, like SRF. I mean, you should do it everywhere, but at SRF, why don't we do a thing where we run up the road? We could even live feed it and be like, you,
That's
this
what
is
I do in
me.
class.
You, this is me. You, this is me. Okay, I'm 2 miles up the road. Okay, I'm 10 miles up the road.
Yep.
Okay, I'm 10 miles, but I'm on a hill. See, it works, but when I come into the valley, it doesn't.
Yeah. That's what I do in the 0 to Hero class. One of the practicals is, all right, 2 of you jump in the car. 2 of us are staying here with the antenna. We're going to measure it and map it and get a area study.
Perfect.
Without, like, a real area study,
Right.
hands-on, not theoretical.
Yeah.
I have an idea for SR. I know we've been going forever. What do you think
I'm
about
good.
this? Not related to radios, how to build a cancel-proof website.
Absolutely.
Like,
Because that's what I need.
because all these people, it's the same problem, right? Like, it's overwhelming. They don't know how to get started, and when they do, it gets shut down. I don't know if everyone is in a high-risk category, but, like, if they sell raw milk or they break any kind of rules, they might get shut down. They might lose their site.
The thing is, right, with them banning Bongino and those guys,
Yep.
people are like, why do you care? Well, a year later,
Because you're next.
they banned this guy, right? Because that means that they're banning these big guys. Now they're banning the guys that aren't as big as the big guys. You're only a year or two downstream
Yep.
from that. And it's going to come to a point where they're going to ban you today for shit you said 2 years ago.
Yeah, I mean,
We just did a
recording
podcast.
it currently with you, what I'll be shut down for.
Right.
But they can't shut it down. 'Cause I'm actually thinking about it
Yep.
ahead of time.
We did a YouTube video a couple weeks ago. Scully was talking right there a couple weeks ago about 2019. And they gave us a strike under the guidelines for 2019 when it's not an offense now, and they took the whole entire fucking video down. They didn't just unmonetize it. They deleted that motherfucker.
Wow. You wonder who the heck is even making these judgments.
I think it's AI, or maybe it gets evaluated, or maybe we are on somebody's radar.
It's got to be heavily AI based, but there's got to be some.
I mean, look how many people, when we post something, how many people show up negatively, right? You go, where did they come from?
Yeah.
It used to be, and I don't know that it is anymore, but it used to be that we had people that would just watch all of our shit and report it and try to get us locked down.
Yeah,
like
spiteful.
Like ARFCOM, like there was a group of 3 or 4 dudes that would brag, "Hey, I got us a site. We got a site. Like, here's the post. Go report this post." And they would use the whole website to report the post.
Oh, I'd love to see him try that with me.
There was a moderator over there that went by Aimless, right? And his avatar was a penguin. So they got our site locked down. And every time Facebook would get locked, I couldn't boost posts, right? So I was about $120,000 in revenue when we would get hit for a 30-day lock on Facebook. That's when I started using Instagram and other platforms. Okay. So I'm like, okay, fuck it. We're locked down. We can't promote. So we packed everybody. We packed up 6, 7 people, and we all went to Las Vegas. When we were sitting in the terminal in Las Vegas, I just made a code. I'm like, Aimless loves the cock. 20% discount. Use Aimless loves the cock. We're going to give you a free Aimless cock, right? Because people knew what was going on. They'd seen this. We got on the plane, and it took 4.5 hours to fly to Vegas that direction with the time change. Maybe it was 5 hours. We did $60,000 in sales while we were in the air. When we landed, and I checked it was PayPal then. I don't think we had the Shopify site. $60,000.
And you were doing 120 a year?
No, 120 a month was what it would.
But still in hours versus 30 days. Is
yeah.
insane.
Well, we did over $130,000 while we were in Las Vegas, running cars and eating at Nobu and shit.
Yeah, I'm amazed at how to catch those little wins like that. Those I don't know. It's like if you're skydiving, you catch something. I don't know. I'm just imagining, but I think finding more of those is going to be your
tailwind.
Yeah.
The sail.
But knowing they exist is like, it makes me want to hunt them down, right? But it's because that, like, I did I did a year in sales in the last 24 hours, just to be honest. So,
But your year's not over.
no, I just mean I did what I did in a year. I matched it in 24 hours.
How long's Radio AZ been?
October. Not. I meant the year of, in 3 months. Last year,
Yeah.
I matched it. So I'm like, okay. The half of me that is poverty mindset wimp is like, well, yeah, but you did it once. You can't do it again. But
Let me tell you this.
That's a tiny guy over here. Me, now I'm just like, I did it once. I can do it 10 times. Let's find the next one. There's more. It's abundance.
You're going to take this the wrong way right now, but I know you know what I mean. That's not shit. And in the next 90 days or 6 months, you're going to message me, or you're going to sit here, or you're going to be like, you know I'm right.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I remember when I told you my numbers, you're like, okay, quadruple it. Why are you trying to match it? And I'm like, at the moment, I'm like, I don't know how that's even possible. I would love it. I'm not saying no, but I don't know how it's possible. And look. So, and part of that is just 34 years of relationships that I haven't violated people, and you know what I mean? Like, I earned it through, part of it is me and who I am and who I've met and who I've helped, and it's goodwill in the world, but then another part of it is just effort, like, that nobody else is doing. Like, all the people trash talking me in these comment threads.
They're not trash talking you though.
Well, they're my product.
They don't have a clue, buddy.
No, that's what I mean is like they actually have no idea. Like, they are so easy to beat.
I like to point out, because that all happened, from 9 a.m. to noon, right?
Right. Like this morning.
So, number one, they're either unemployed because they're not at work during business hours.
Right.
Well,
they're stealing
I work
time.
nights. If you work nights, you'd be asleep.
Right.
Somebody's paying them to be at work to do a job they're not doing while they're fucking around on Facebook.
And it's amazing to me. I was thinking about this on the way here. Like, people will buy a house, and no one ever complains that you could buy all the materials for that house for less money than it costs to buy a house. But for some reason, because I take materials and put them together into a solution and make a profit, that's highway robbery. Literally, that's what I was accused of, is highway robbery.
Those are looters.
Yeah, well,
they're looters. They're not.
They're
that dude
in society right now. I want them to get better, but they aren't okay right now. That mindset.
I put a kit together just like that. Really? Where's your kit at?
Send me a link.
Send me a picture of your sewing machine.
I'll buy 100 of them because it'll be
I tell guys that. Yeah. Oh, you can do this for half the. I'll buy them from you.
Yeah.
I'll just make a 25% margin on it.
Sure. I would love that.
Yeah.
I would love to see one person on Earth who puts together a radio that works, that's programmed. No one else does it.
Yeah.
Bring it on,
and they're so stuck, like they don't even know what they're talking about. Oh, so 3 radios in a pouch?
Can you read?
They're pretty sure there's a little more in there.
Can you read? Yeah, that's the best ones that are arguing to an imaginary thing. Like, they hallucinated the thing that they're arguing with. It's not even.
I don't
real.
trust that. I don't believe in that. What, like the Easter Bunny? It doesn't exist. I don't believe in guns. That's what Yeager used to always say. People are like, I don't believe in guns. What, you mean like the Easter Bunny? You haven't seen him, or?
Oh, yeah. Well, we love them and we hate them. We can't live with them or without them, right? The haters.
I don't even hate them anymore.
Yeah.
I'm
starting to have an affection.
I am so busy right now. We are so understaffed, right? I woke up this morning at 5. I got up at 5, so I was a little late. And
that's early for me. That's when I woke up to start driving.
And I looked around at the product floor, and I'm like, oh, Jeremy's making lunch today. Friday is usually a really good lunch, which means he's going to be in the kitchen a while.
Excellent, Jeremy.
Fucking amazing, right?
Best food I've had in a month.
So I'm like, hey, we need to cut some stuff. Amanda's like, okay, you tell me what you want me to do. I'll do anything we need to do. So I just give her some stuff. She starts cutting some stuff. I go cut some stuff. I cut a bunch of radio pouches, and then we did some hearing protection pouches. And that was till probably what time did you get here? About 10:30 is when I stopped. I'd already fed all the animals, did all the farm shit, got inside.
So when most people are starting, you have worked half a day in their world.
Oh, we've literally done a day. We've done a day that most people won't even do in a day. We've already done, So what time is it right now?
3:20.
We've recorded a 2-hour podcast right here. We had lunch. I had a meeting with Jonathan Jackson, our chainsaw workshop coming up. We hashed that out.
Him on here. He's amazing.
We will, definitely. We will. He has quite a story.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't think people understand how the co-ops work and
no
farming. And those guys do like big farming, right? I've got a buddy named Jack, and Monsanto's the devil in ConAgra, but that's how big farming works, right? So to have his perspective, tell me why
at scale
we need Monsanto, right?
Yeah.
And how fucked up is farming, right?
Yeah.
I don't think people have any idea.
Not our people.
So to have those conversations,
Yeah.
and him being big farm, I mean, thousands of acres farming, right?
Wow.
So they're in bed with, they rely on
Have to
ConAgra and
be.
Monsanto,
Sure.
right? So do we want to just hit these guys? Like, would we rather have them on our side in some capacity? Or would we rather start the conversation with like, Monsanto's the devil? Well, I mean, that's what pays his bills.
Right.
That's what puts his kids' clothes on his kids' backs,
Yeah.
But it is. I mean, America, it's like the train, right? The fucking world does not run without trains.
Yeah.
And we do not feed people without big pharma or big farm until people take control of their own lives. Now, we
Right.
want people to do that, right? There's evidence of it outside.
Mm-hmm.
But I would rather have those people on our side than people in our community who we have alienated.
The boogeyman. At least it's a real person you put a name and a face to instead of just this elusive, mysterious creature that you've imagined.
Yeah, and if you need to fabricate something or the end of the world happens, the farmer is so much more than the guy that sprays the stuff.
Chief generalist. But you were saying you've done all that today.
Yeah,
it's 3:20. I don't know. We lost the thread.
Oh, yeah, and my day's still not over.
Yeah, I mean, you go till 10 o'clock at night.
Every night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm on every live feed now because it's like half of my marketing happens in that comment section. So.
That's great. That's great. I wish there was more.
It's relationship building. Just
because
the fact that I'm there, I don't have to market, but I'm there. Again, there's my name.
We don't compete with each other.
No.
People are not going and like, well, I'm not going to buy this micro rig today because I'm buying Evans radios, right?
Yeah.
It is of my best interest for them to buy your radios and be better prepared and more in our community.
Yep.
And then, of course, what are they going to put their fucking radios in? They're going to buy a pouch. Who makes the pouch? I make the pouch.
Yep.
I did see people in the feeds. I saw some guys commenting on when I shared your post on Instagram. Some radio guys got on and like, oh man, too bad it doesn't fit this other thing. And I'm like, who is this guy? And he has a huge radio page. Okay. So I was going to be like, hey, what radio is that? Like, if it's not $1,000 or whatever,
I can get you.
Send me one. I don't even have to have one. We can just make one out of fucking take cardboard boxes and cut them up, tape them together. Just make me a mold. We'll make one that works. We could build the same radio pouch for other size radios.
If it could be elastic in some way, that would solve a lot of problems, but you'll need like a small, medium, large, basically.
We could I don't like elastic. And I say this and you're going to give me 10 reasons why it's bullshit. I don't like the elastic because the elastic fails, but I say that as we don't have really shotgun card problems though.
Yeah.
I've just never liked elastic. I always like
it's a wear item, right? That's what.
Well, it just looks shitty.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean only in one place.
What
so
could we use?
Stretch.
Could we use shock cord instead?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
So I like shock cord. Yeah, I like it because it's replaceable. We could 550 it in the field if we had to. Yeah. It's just cleaner.
And then keeping that shock cord over the top makes it height doesn't matter anymore.
Do you know why I did that?
Well, I wanted it. I don't know why you did it, but that's what I was gonna ask you for.
The reason I did that was because we have multicam black and we've got multicam. We've got all these colors and shit. I wanted it to be the color on the face.
I like that.
I like the Velcro because we can adjust the height. We can adjust it through the shock cord. I've opposed building stuff like that for a long time because it was so simplistic.
Right.
And really, like, we just did those massive shotgun magazine pouches for Scully.
Uh-huh.
And I built it the same way. I've got a brand new 308 single mag in there. It's built the same. It's very simplistic. It's very sleek.
Yep.
And
it's very extendable because now if I want to run a 10-inch tall Motorola, I could run it in that pouch. I wouldn't want to, but I think the part we have the issue with is width. It has no give in width.
So when I started off to build that pouch, I was going to make the bottom adjustable as well as the top. So we could do one that is adjustable on the bottom. So that cradle
It can height at the.
We can let part of the radio hang out the bottom.
Yeah.
That's how we did it with our adjustable smokes. We used to do
What about girth and width issue is the part. I don't care as much about the bottom.
Okay, so we used to do a Sabre pouch. Do you know what the Sabres were? MX300s. They were waterproof SEAL team radios, Border Patrol, Astra radios also.
Yeah.
So it's a, like the old cop radios.
They're big.
So we made a cradle in there so you could adjust the depth. So we could put a shorter radio or a taller radio in there.
Okay.
For the front, the only way to make it adjustable is make an enormous, stupid, sloppy pouch, which just looks shitty, and then put elastic or shock cord over it. The other way to do it is to two-piece it to where it's Velcro and it's Velcro. So,
okay, you make a sleeve.
Yep, and then you adjust this. But they're
that's
bulky.
That's how I do in my man pack bag. That's how I built the harness for that mobile radio.
Yeah, that's how we did. We did Velcro adjustable smoke grenade pouches.
Okay.
We do a spent mag that has smokes on the side. We also do a standalone, so it'll hold a smoke grenade, 2 frags or bangs, and they're a Velcro. It's a ton of fucking Velcro. They're bulky.
Well, and I think what Wrangler Star loved about the pouch and what is great is it's built for that radio, and it works really well for that. I think you get in. It's like a Leatherman that sucks at everything. You don't want to build a Leatherman radio pouch that sucks at everything it does.
It does everything but nothing well.
Right. I like doing something well. It just means you need.
So I had seen Wrangler Star. I thought Wrangler Star had a video. He had a radio pouch, and you unclip it and it folds down, right?
I don't know.
So I thought he had a very feature-rich radio pouch. So I was concerned that he was going to think it was too plain, but I mean, he loved it.
He loved everything we sent.
And for me to build, I don't know who's building these radio pouches with all this shit on them, right? Because I look at this stuff and I'm like, this is automated. This is coming out of China.
Yeah.
Good work. I can't duplicate it. If I did duplicate it, this would be a $200 radio pouch.
Right.
I have real human beings. I don't have slave labor.
That's what the guys in the comments complaining that a kit comes with a pouch. It's like you realize a real person in Tennessee, not a slave, had to be paid to build that pouch.
Yeah,
do you like that or not?
I pay a shipping company that comes in here. I buy U.S. goods.
Yep.
I pay 2 males who have families that cut this out. I pay all these ladies in here. I mean, we feed them breakfast and lunch. I mean, we have real human beings that have real families.
And that's supposed to be like a virtue.
Right. And that's what I heard him say that. You guys always ask in the comments, is this American made? Yeah, motherfucker. It's American made. It says it on the label.
It's supposed to be cheap and American made, which is like a oxymoron.
Right.
Oh well. I think it rocks. I do like the idea of purpose built. Maybe just do a few sizes, like a small, medium, large.
Okay.
But you don't want it to get sloppy and then it loses what it is.
So we used to build asp pouches, in a
baton?
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. So they had there's a 26, there's a 23, and there was another size, right? We just quit building them because people didn't buy them. We get hit. There's all these sizes, right?
Yeah.
Guys always ask us, hey, do you do suppressor pouches? Yeah.
It's an ass pouch.
Get with the suppressor company and tell them to fucking standardize their sizes and we'll build one, right?
Yeah, because they're from this to this.
We get hit all the time. We chased everything, especially like law enforcement. We used to take, we don't take purchase orders. We used to take purchase orders, so we'd always get 100 of this and 100 of that and 100 of this. But there was no standardization from departments on the size of pepper spray. And they would get the pepper spray, and I got a 3-ounce pepper spray. Okay, no problem. Doesn't fit his fucking 3-ounce pepper spray. 4.5 ounce, 5 ounce, 6 ounce. There's no standardization in the sizes for some reason.
So you're just chasing your tail every time. It's not.
Well, it's like a loss leader, right? Yeah. When I started building gear, I was building LBVs.
Okay.
But it got to the point where
what's old is new again.
Right. Well, yeah, most definitely. And it's happening. And they're coming from real email addresses, right? Yeah. There's real guys asking, which Scully said the war we're about to fight, they're not using plate carriers. They're moving to some other stuff. All these new calibers we've picked up. I don't know if you're aware, the Marine Corps and the United States Army has adopted a brand new battle rifle, and it is not an M4 and it's not 5.56. And these bullets punch straight through every plate that you can carry. Okay. You no longer have armor on the battlefield that'll stop bullets. So the LBV thing, but I built the LBVs and I built a butt pack, and a hydro carrier. But it got to the point where my customer had to go to my competitors, of which really they didn't see me as a competitor, but the only really people in the game at the time were Eagle, London Bridge, and Blackhawk. Well, they're going to go over there to get that dual pistol mag, so they might as well buy the duty belt. And while they're there, they can get a vest for $120 instead of mine for $250, even though mine's better. Most people aren't educated on it. So it's like that loss leader.
Yeah.
We have to sell milk on sale to get you in the store in hopes that you buy something else.
I'm trying to learn those angles with mine. I don't have enough of a library of products yet, and Bob's counseled me on it. Just give a freebie instead of discounting. Don't discount and loss lead.
That's what Andy Frisella will tell you. Never put your stuff on sale. You can do a value add.
I'm thinking about that little cheat sheet card. Buy two, get that, instead of buy one, get one, $10 off. It's get a free thing. You guys do it with promo pouches.
Yeah, you can add free shipping.
At
$100. That way they're going to buy whatever to get the $100.
And there's another psychological one with the public, like free shipping doesn't exist.
It doesn't. It's built in.
It's expensive to ship stuff.
So
I know you spend more than me, but
do you know Benchmark Signs and Gifts? Fucking great people.
I know about them. They're
husband, wife, great people, right? And I saw that they're putting on their boxes. UPS charged me $14 to ship you this box. And he's
they're writing it.
They're writing it out in handwriting on the box.
Oh, that's smart.
So the customer knows.
Because it's forgotten now because of Amazon Prime. The truck comes every day, like your milk.
The weird thing about Amazon is, so I have Amazon come in the door. I use the devil. I'm in bed with him. Amazon comes in here. FedEx.
Out here, it's a godsend.
Amazon comes in FedEx. It comes in UPS brings Amazon and our U.S. mail.
You don't get an Amazon truck out here?
No. Because there have been. During COVID there was. But Amazon drops off at 4 a.m., so our postal workers have to be to work at 4 a.m. Our postal workers work 7 days a week, Saturday and Sunday, delivering Amazon. Amazon pays the postal service $1 to deliver each package. The postal worker does not get that. The postal worker is required to work. They use their own vehicles out here rural. Yep. Our postal lady has 4 of the same car. When it breaks, her husband brings her another one. Mm-hmm. They are fucking worked to death, like for real, right?
They're probably not paid to do it.
Now, Amazon comes in all those different carriers, but the thing is, you're paying for Amazon Prime, right? I have Amazon Prime. You don't get shit in a day or two anymore. Like you order now, it ain't happening like it was.
In the cities it is.
Yeah, I know Pierre said he can order ice cream and it'll be at his door in an hour.
Yeah, I mean, like I'll get radio parts if I ship it to my UPS box in closer to the city, it'll get there same day sometimes.
It's still
not where I live, but
even with that said, it's still better than buying from a lot of places.
Oh, without a doubt.
Like I wouldn't do business with my company. I understand people's frustration. We are really trying to change that.
You have changed it.
But I want to be better than we are, right? Yeah. And I say that because
you don't have a website full of stuff you can order anymore.
Right, we've been locking it down.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we got shit that we have that you can't even order because we didn't fucking turn it back on.
Oh.
We need to scan shit, but then the whole fucking we'd have to shut down business for 30 days to fucking
had
integrate.
To weigh on you when it was like back ordered.
It weighs on me now. Yeah, it still does. We still have orders hanging out there.
Because that's that environment I worked in with the
I understand.
Parts.
Yeah.
God, it sucks.
Yeah, you'd kill yourself if you worked here.
Yeah.
So really the fix is just cut it, open a new company that's populated correctly, and then fill this, as we can, or, as best we can until it's done, right? And
let's do it with the new platform.
So, yeah, we'll talk about that.
Not a new company, just a new shell.
Correct. So I get it, man. I ordered $3,600 worth of chicken plucker and scalder, right? And I called the company, and I'm like, hey, do you have this? They're like, yes, we do. I go, if I buy it today, when will it ship? They're like, it'll ship Monday. Well, it's $3,600. That's a chunk of money, right? So I order it. Week goes by. Hey, I don't have tracking. Oh, well, we're waiting on getting it from the company. A couple weeks. Hey, I asked, I need
you
this.
Lied.
So maybe who knows who you're talking to? Well, they blame it on the company. So
pass the buck.
So 6 months later, I'm in these poultry groups. People are like, hey, how's the Featherman stuff? I'm like, the Featherman stuff is absolutely amazing. It took a long time to get. Featherman comes on. They're like, hey, We ship our stuff immediate. I'm like, I bought it through Stromberg. When I communicated with him, he's like, hey, and they wanted me to like, hey, will you pull this down and change these comments and stuff? So I forwarded him all the emails, and he's like, hey, I don't know what happened here. We have these. And I ordered it.
Probably the person you
Yeah.
ordered was screwing you over.
Well, and the same thing happened with the Solex, right? The greenhouse material out there.
Uh-huh.
I bought $1,600 worth of Solex. If I order, and I always communicate, hey, if it's over $1,000, hey, if I order this, when's it going to actually ship?
Yeah.
It took us 6 weeks to get that shit. The greenhouses, hey, if I order this, when's it going to ship? It took weeks to get the greenhouse, right? So I get it. I understand the frustration.
Yeah. Yeah, at least now, though, like the way you're doing it with we release product, it's in the email, get it while it's there, or you can't get it. For what? How many products do you not do that way? Like belts?
Anything under $100. We still have stuff that's open.
Okay. I'm not usually looking at that stuff because
Yeah,
I want the cool stuff.
Like all of our, all the pistol mag pouches you can order,
Okay.
all the multi-tool pouches, zippered knife pouches, all the little shit you can order, but like we build them every day.
Right.
But like we're behind on zippered knife pouches.
But if you're going to do a run of day packs, that's not something you just do a one-off of compared to...
So here's what we've been doing. Like the website's locked down, and we're losing business left and right because of it, I'm sure, right? Amanda's like, yeah, people don't like that LBV thing. Hey, you got to send me an email, right? Well, I'm only going to build one a day. So we're selling them. I don't want to turn the website on and be like, oh, fuck, I've got 20 of these. I'm going to have to sit here for weeks and build these.
Right.
But like they're emailing, like a guy this last night on live, he's like, hey, I want some 1-quart canteens and OD. I'm like, just send me an email. He emails. I'm like, hey, I put 2 online, order them. And once I see the order come through, we'll do a small batch. We'll run 12 of them because green will sit in inventory for, a month or whatever. And then a guy ordered some multicam ones. So I put 2 in inventory. We'll build 24 though. They built them. They're already done. They're in there this morning. I saw them. So that's kind of what we've been doing. Okay. So to be our customer, you got to kind of interact with us, but I have very low, my bottleneck is capacity.
Yeah. I see
so I have a better relationship with the customers that are our customers. Right. You might have to jump through some hoops, but we're also going to know a little bit about each other at the end of the day.
That makes sense. And then some people benefit from that guy asking because you make extras. Correct. And they get a chance to buy
and guys are always like, and dudes are like, hey, what do you have? What color, whatever do you have? I go, look, if you're asking, you should probably order it somewhere else. I totally understand.
You should know the colors by now.
And there's a lot of dudes that are like, I don't want to, I don't want to wait. I get it. We have a reputation of the delay. I understand.
I remember when I bought my day pack, I bought OD Black, and I couldn't find any pictures of one. And the one on the website is like 5 colors.
Right.
And I'm like, well, I'd kind of like to see it before I drop $300 on a backpack.
So what happened?
I asked on the private group, and I got some pictures, but like it is unusual to drop that kind of money on something you can't see. But if you can't build more, who gives a rip? So I see your dilemma, because you could make it awesome, but it doesn't make you more money that they can see it. So I see what you're
we
doing.
only have so much capacity.
Right.
Like the real answer is I need to move.
To have.
Yeah, we need to live someplace else is the real answer.
Can you import a workforce, like make their life good?
Maybe. I don't know the answer to that. And I think
like that would be the way to go.
I think it's deceptive too, right? So if I bring in migrant labor,
literally migrant, I just mean like find some people that will move to Camden.
The housing's not here.
But build it.
Correct.
That's what I mean. Like Milltown,
like Ford Town. Yeah, like Ford in the jungle. Yeah.
I mean, it won't be a town. It'll be like 10 families, but you'd have legit work.
Yeah, we used to joke about buying the hotel up there, and we really probably should have. But like, dudes have the perception that they see the videos and they want to come work. But the reality is most of the guys that show up are running from something, right? Like
I'm talking about ladies.
Yeah, I know. But they split with the ex. They come here with their truck, their supermoto, and then they're like, hey, this
come
really
work for my hero.
You pay me this much, but the hotel costs this much. Yeah. You gotta, when you leave here at 5:00,
go get another job for the rest of that night.
Go drive around, right? Yeah. You have to go find it. There's 500 people moved here last month looking for the 2 places for rent. You got to go be friendly with the person.
You're talking about a place to live.
Yeah, okay. That's the big disconnect. But like I had a dude show up here, fucking awesome dude, right? Shows up. I'm like, where are you staying? He's like, I'm staying in my truck. I'm like, We'll see how long that lasts.
Right.
Like, you have to have staying power. Like,
That's
I used to tell Jeff.
Not sustainable.
I'm like, I don't want to know their name for 90 days.
Okay.
Because most of them ain't going to be here, right? I don't need, if you make it 90 days, then I will invest my time into you. And this kid, I hope he comes back. Fucking just good dude. I like, even if he moved back here and he's like, hey, I'm doing my own thing, but I'm back here, I would spend time with him. Like, I think
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, good dude.
Yeah.
So he is living in his truck for a little while, and then he gets a storage unit, and he was living in a tent for a little while, gets a storage unit,
Dude,
does that for a few months, taking baths in the river, and finally I'm like, hey, why don't you can just stay here, right? Because they kick him out of the fucking thing, and he's like, man, I'm going to go back to Texas. They kicked me out of the storage unit. So he's living here. I'm like, just stay here for a little while. Would it make a difference? So he's living in one of the sheds in the tiny house, using the outdoor shower here, which has a heater, and does that. And then he finds he's just talking to somebody and ends up renting a basement apartment from this lady, and everything's great, right? But if I've had 100 guys show up here, there's only 5 that have actually went and found legitimate lodging, right?
Yeah, you can't look it up on Zillow.
Or won't, or whatever it is, man. Like, a lot of them are like, man, I can't find a place. Where are you playing the fucking video games that you were talking about playing? Like, you have, like, it's just utilization of time. Yeah. They think, typically, whatever you left was fucked up because of you. Yeah. And it's going to be fucked up where you go because of you.
That's the sad truth for sure.
But it's finding those real guys.
Yeah. Yeah, and you don't do a lot of guys, right? Like, it's usually...
So I use guys. I won't have a woman work with me. Okay. My guys, I can put in a truck and we can go and we can do what we did, and there's never going to be any accusation of impropriety or anything. I'm just at a position where it would cause problems if there was, so if it was never a possibility, it can never be accused. Yep. I put women on the floor. Every time I've taught a guy how to do my craft, he always has gone and started a company of his own or tried to, and it's always very nasty. Although I'm rethinking that. I'm to the point now where guys used to be like, hey, where do I get this? I'm like, fuck you, man. This exists because of my company. And I've changed my way of seeing things, man. That's why we're doing, every week we do a sew video.
Yep.
You could be in the industry. You could own a sew company for 20 years. I promise you, if you watched every one of my videos, there is something in there that will alter and make your life better in your industry. And it might be that my video is an hour long and you hate my voice or my stupid beard or whatever, but there is something in everything in there that will add to them. Man, I watch sew videos of people that don't even sew what I sew. And I'm like, holy shit, that right there will save 30% on this process. Yeah. And we've been doing it the hard way for 30 years. I didn't even know that existed.
Anyone trying to learn should be able to watch a master doing his thing and see it translate. Yeah. If not, they're not after it.
Even other mediums, man.
That's what I mean. Like, you can watch a mechanic, you can watch a boat builder, whatever. Like, there should be something you can glean from.
Which is why you should do the content. You should build content, right? Yeah. Adam Savage, the Mythbusters. I watch his videos and I want to go buy all kinds of tools and set up tool carts and shit. Man. And I don't.
His Amazon affiliate.
Oh, I haven't even.
Has to be full of money.
I won't even use the tools, and I have those. I did some videos wearing those, like out in public, wearing those DeWalt goggles. I bought them because he showed them. He's like, "These are the best goggles," and glue. I bought a bunch of super glue.
The impression that he has used 3,000 of that thing and weeded it. Like, that's the impression he gives. Is like, if he says it's the good one, I believe that guy.
I think he's telling the truth, though.
I do too. I just mean, that's the impression you get. I think it's real. But
yeah, Vince from VCG Construction. Like, I know Vince, right? He's been here. He's trained. Really? Yeah.
He does a ton of Milwaukee videos.
He does all platforms, right?
Yeah, I've seen him.
Jake Oval. I've reached out to Jake, and he communicated. I'm like, hey, why don't you come out to SRF? And yeah, I mean, those guys. I know Ohio Power Tools because of him, and Pack Out King, that guy on Instagram. Fucking great content. But I believe those guys. Yeah. Right. When they say something, I believe what they say.
Yeah.
Are we running out of battery?
No, we're good. I was just checking.
All right, I got to pee anyways. So,
dude, it's awesome. I've enjoyed it. Thank you for hanging out.
Thank you.
I need one of these.
Leave
like
them
talking to people.
Leave them with some words of wisdom.
Yeah, start your thing now and get started, and stop making excuses of what you need to do before you can start. I think that's huge. And figure out what happened to you in your life that has screwed you up and deal with it and move forward and stay free.
I think some of that's dangerous.
Good.
Figure out what happened to you that screwed you up.
Well, I know. That's why I think a lot of people want to dance around it, because they're afraid of what's there.
I think
it's still there.
I want to think people are busy moving forward, that they're not worrying with it.
Maybe, but it's still there, and it's coming due someday. It's like a bad credit card debt.
Maybe I just don't have anything.
That's wonderful, but I'm talking about the people that are intentionally like shelving it. It's there.
It's like the mothership. You're being drawn to it, and if you're being drawn to it, stop making the excuses, man. If you keep watching it and you're thinking you should show up or you need to do this thing, and it keeps popping back in your head, whatever that is, right? The universe telling you, or God, or you, whatever it is, right? Maybe you should fucking do that and stop doing the bullshit. And most of the stuff, most people doing shit, most of the people that want to do something that aren't, it's just because you're fucking not doing it. It's not that you're doing something better. Most of you motherfuckers aren't doing anything.
Yeah, that's the truth. Do something.
Be a better human being. One day, somewhere, someplace, somebody is watching you, and you are an example for them, whether you realize it or not. Mm-hmm. What do you think should be a rite of passage for a child, a boy, to be called a man?
Cross-country motorcycle trip.
Ooh, I like it.
Or bicycle or walk. Go somewhere you don't speak the language for 6 months. Kill something and eat it. Stuff like that.
I got it. I know how we can do them all.
You probably do them all in one shot.
We can. We can get in a car, and we can do a cannonball rally type deal.
Oh, man, yeah.
Where we drive across the United States, and we have to stop at every donut shop on the way.
Every one of them.
Because I like donuts.
Is Camden Donuts good?
It is. And we had a dude.
We're never going to stop this podcast.
We had a dude got bit on the arm by a cobra that worked there. I'm like, what happened to your arm? He's like, cobra. Fucking like from Thailand or somewhere. But there's these two Mexican dudes there now.
Okay.
He's like, yo, bro, nice truck. I'm from California. And we got talking, and it, like, super cool dudes. Yeah, it actually is good.
Rock on.
Yeah. All right, so donuts. Donut cannonball rally.
Where's the kill something and eat it part?
Well, we're probably going to run into something and kill it, so we'll just eat it. I mean, we'll hit it by accident. What's that, the gumball rally?
There's the cannonball rally.
What's the one where you have to buy a car that can only cost $1,000? And
the gumball 3000. No. It's the
Rambler. It's the Rambler. No, it's the
bizarre.
Rambler. That's the one. It's mostly gun industry.
Like you off-road this hunk of junk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But none of those, like, they're running G-Wagons and shit. They're putting money. But you know what's missing?
No. Radios?
Donuts.